Coming up on Mountain News at 6, a vendor's mall in one eastern Kentucky county reopened 6 months after the devastating flood. And 2 people are facing charges stemming from the death of a 7-month-old baby in Rockcastle County.
Plus, a couple more snow showers possible as we head through tonight, but drier skies lay ahead. Details next as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
We're almost done with the interesting weather for the stint, but not before we could see one last shot of a wintry mix later this evening. Our first alert weather day rolls on as meteorologist Evan Hatter continues to monitor the conditions. Evan?
That's right, Olivia. I don't think it's a huge threat for many of us throughout the mountains. I think many of us actually stay dry tonight, but for some, we could see more of that sleet and snow accumulation. Not a ton, but that potential will be there along the Kentucky-Tennessee border as we head through tonight. Some folks still seeing just that mist fog. Let's go back. Let's show that UVA-wise shot again. 28 the current reading, and it is just foggy. It is misty. You can see the snow and sleet that accumulated last night and early this morning on the rooftops there. It is just a raw day outside. Downtown Whitesburg, it's looking a little better there, but you see in the distance some of that fog on the mountaintops there, and that's something that's going to continue tonight. Low 30s for many out there, even some upper 20s, so near freezing temperatures continue in the forecast. We're all quiet right now on Pinpoint Doppler, but further to the south, that's where that next system continues to work on into the region, that same path that we've been seeing. And I think it could bring the potential, at least for some of us, to see some snow or some sleet as we head through tonight. Many stay dry, especially north of the Highway 80 Hal Rogers Parkway corridor, but south of there, snow showers, even some mix later on tonight as lows hold steady in the low 30s and upper 20s. Details on when we warm back up in a few minutes. Olivia?
Thank you, Evan. July's flood left many eastern Kentucky businesses destroyed, threatening the livelihood of those who work there and impacting those who rely on their services. WYMT's Alyssa Williams was there for the reopening of one Letcher County vendor's mall to learn more about the impact one small business can have on a small town and how it feels to be up and running again. Opening their doors and opening their hearts to customers after a hectic 6 months.
It's like a weight off of us now, and just to know that we could build back and open back up, because for a while we didn't know if we could.
Things are looking a lot different now within the Isom Vendors Mall than they did immediately following July's devastating flood.
I just started crying, and my whole world was gone. You know, we had worked so hard for 7 years to build this business up, and just to see it all washed away in an instant, it was life-changing.
The mall's owner, Crystal Watson, says there were more than 60 vendors within the business that lost a part of their livelihood as well. Vendors like Tammy Sloan.
You know you have this money coming in every month, and I mean, just for it to be gone, you know, you still have bills to pay. You know, we had some expensive stuff in here. You know, a lot of vendors had some very expensive things, and to just replace them, it was very hard.
Those with the mall say many late nights went into restoring the business with no outside funding going toward the rebuild.
It was kind of like a rebuilding, and not only with the building, but yourself as well, because, you know, we're going to start fresh. We got this. And as we seen the walls come down, it was kind of like the past was in the past, and we're starting to build our future back.
After months of preparation, the Vendors Mall is up and running once again, not only providing discounted prices to a hurting community, but also offering hope to other businesses that they too can come back better than before.
We're like a phoenix rising out of the ashes, you know, and not just us, everybody that has rebuilt from the flood. You know, you feel like you've beat the flood. You've not let it drag you down with it.
In Isom, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News. Isom Vendors Mall owner Crystal Watson adds that she estimates with inventory and other materials, the business experienced a loss worth $250,000. But she says now that the mall is up and running again, she hopes to expand the business to offer other services for the community to utilize. Folks are still finding ways to help 6 months after flooding impacted many here in the mountains. WYMT's Jordan Mullins has more with officials from ARH about its newest fundraiser and how it will help those impacted by last year's floods.
In July 2022, flooding rocked much of eastern Kentucky, and ARH was one of many organizations reaching out to those who were in need.
ARH has distributed over 6.5 million pounds of supplies since the advent of the flood, and we have already distributed $1.3 million to individuals to support their recovery.
Now, 6 months after the floods, folks are still in the recovery process.
Yes, it's been 6 months, but that is, and when we look at long-term recovery, we're probably looking at another year at least. Even though, wow, that was last year, that should be over, it's not.
And ARH is still helping its communities. On Wednesday, ARH began its newest flood relief fundraiser called Hearts for Hope.
Every community trust bank in the area, as well as local KFCs and Long John Silver's, have little cards with hearts on them, and any customer can come in and make a donation to the flood relief efforts,
with all proceeds going to long-term recovery groups across the region.
It's hugely important because we need those funds to try to help connect people to get them the help that they need so they can get back to some kind of normal.
Helping these groups meet the needs of those who still have yet to recover. In Floyd County, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
ARH Foundation Executive Director Angela Bailey also added that you can donate or find out more about the ARH Foundation online at arh.org/donate. Months after a 7-month-old baby died, his mother and her then boyfriend are charged in the death. Kentucky State Police say a Rockcastle County grand jury has indicted 23-year-old Kirsten Durham and 32-year-old Jonathan Durbin of Mount Vernon. Police say the baby died at a home on Burnt Ridge Road in August. The boy's father says his son, Michael Scott Durham, was with the couple while he was told his son fell off a couch while the couple was asleep.
You think to yourself, why do these things happen? That's what the Kentucky State Police has to investigate. How this 7-month-old child passed away.
The boy's father says he tried to get his son away from the couple, but he was too late. Durham is in jail in Lexington, and Durbin is in Pike County Jail. Crews in Mingo County, West Virginia, are responding to a crash on US 119. Dispatchers say the crash happened near Mine Road 22 around 12:30 this afternoon and say 2 trucks were involved. There are no word on if anyone was injured or if any roads are closed at this time. As always, you can check our website, WYMT.com, for latest updates on this story. A man accused of ramming a police cruiser and throwing meth out of a car during a police chase has been taken into custody. The Lawrence County Sheriff's Office and the U.S. Marshals Cuffed Task Force has arrested Sean Reisner at a Fallsburg home in Lawrence County. Last week, a traffic stop was conducted by a Wayne County, West Virginia Sheriff's Drug Enforcement Unit. Instead of stopping, Reisner took off on West Virginia Route 152. During the pursuit, Reisner was accused of ramming a deputy's cruiser twice and sideswiping the cruiser. The chase was ended due to safety reasons. Reisner has been charged with several charges and was already wanted for a parole violation prior to the arrest. 2 police organizations in one southeastern Kentucky county are warning businesses in the area to watch out for money that could be fake. In a Facebook post, the Harlan County Sheriff's Office says they were tipped off by the Harlan Police Department about counterfeit $50 bills circulating within the county. Local businesses have been warned to double check the bills they take in to make sure they are legitimate. If a business believes someone could be trying to pay with money that is fake, they are asked to call police as soon as possible. A Laurel County woman is facing multiple charges following a traffic stop stemming from a cracked windshield. Last night, London police stopped a car on North Main Street after they received complaints about a car that was being driven in a reckless manner. During the stop, police discovered that 42-year-old Latricia Jenkins of London was driving on a suspended license and had 2 outstanding bench warrants. Jenkins claims that she was having problems driving the car because of a mechanical issue. Jenkins has been charged with driving on a suspended license and careless driving, among other charges. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help as they are looking for a man that has been missing for more than a month. Timothy Hobbs was last seen the day after Christmas near the Phillips Gas and Grocery in the Sand Gap community of Jackson County. A missing persons report was filed over the weekend after no one had heard from Hobbs. He is 5 feet and 11 inches tall and weighs about 130 pounds. He has a scar on the left side of his nose and a mole on his chin. If you see him or know where he is, you were asked to call police at 606-287-7121 or 606-287-9979. More than $3 million in federal funding is on the way to Kentucky, and some of the money is heading to the mountains. Senator Mitch McConnell's office has announced some of the places and areas the funding will go toward as part of the Safe Street and Roads for All program. The Lake Cumberland Area Development District is receiving the biggest amount at about $237,000. The Kentucky River Area Development District is also getting $208,000, while the city of Corbin is being granted about $166,000. The funding for the program came from the Bipartisan Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, which was signed into law 2 years ago. The Kentucky Department of Revenue will start processing state tax returns next week. Revenue Department leaders say workers will start processing returns on Monday. It is a process that takes about 4 to 6 weeks. You can check the status of your refund by visiting refund.ky.gov and entering your Social Security number.
Well, coming up, we're going to see a few showers work through the region tonight, but not for everybody. Latest timing on the flip side. Plus,
some people are getting relief checks meant for Western Kentucky tornado victims. We'll take a look at how the state is dealing with the issue.
WYMT News app offers a